Is that a large marijuana cigarette?
Yes, that is, and it's all for you.
American rapper Snoop Dogg is a fan of marijuana. He sings about it and he even sells it through his own shop called Smoke Weed Every Day.
I smoke weed all day, every day, and all day, every day, and all day, every day, and all night.
While he may be one of the most vocal advocates for recreational cannabis use, those in Australia pushing to make it legal have a far less flashy approach.
So they come in and, maybe in their mind they're thinking of like California and they think they'll see like a Snoop Dogg on a billboard. And instead, what they see is a sensible approach to this, right?
A fortnight ago, in the inner city suburb of Fitzroy in Melbourne, a fake cannabis shop was created to demonstrate how the drug could be sold legally. The pop-up was only there for 5 days and didn't sell any drugs.
It's not designed to have flashy advertising. It's not designed to have any promotion. In fact, it's specifically designed to avoid those things, right, and present a sort of normal, almost boring type of space.
I think the concern about legalisation is we end up becoming forgetful about the fact that cannabis use, like any drug, can harm some consumers, and particularly people who get caught up in a pattern of daily use.
Dr. Jake Dizzard believes there are benefits to legalising cannabis.
So right now the government is spending hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, enforcing these cannabis laws, and a substantial portion of that money could be reallocated to fighting more serious crime. So that's another benefit. And then yet another benefit is actually generating economic activity in the legitimate economy.
Pennington Institute is the drug research policy organisation behind the pop-up cannabis shop, which is modelled on dispensaries in Canada. Canada legalised recreational cannabis in 2018. Since then, it's had mixed results. There have been fewer arrests, which has eased pressure on the court system, and the black market has shrunk. From 2023 to 2024, tax revenue and permits brought in $2.2 billion for federal and provincial governments. But there's also been an increase in children being admitted to hospital after ingesting the drug.
That's probably one of the clearest adverse effects. It's related to the sale of edibles. These are cannabis products that basically look like candies, chocolates. If children unknowingly ingest these products, then they can become really quite profoundly sedated and require medical treatment and, in more severe cases, admission to hospital.
Emeritus Professor Wayne Hall has advised the World Health Organization on the health effects of cannabis use and has studied the consequences of legalisation in Canada and the US.
More recent Canadian research has shown a fairly steep increase in the number of people turning up to emergency departments with psychotic symptoms who are also using cannabis, mainly in the province of Ontario. So it's still a bit early days, but that is clearly one major public health concern.
He says the high potency of cannabis in some parts of Canada and the US has been a concern.
Heavy cannabis use impairs or makes the situation worse for people who have disorders like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. And if we're making more potent cannabis more available for people with those illnesses, then we might expect to see more of them presenting to emergency departments and mental health treatment.
We're calling for strict potency limits, right? So you would not be able to access at the types of retail outlets that we are interested in establishing as a model. Any cannabis product over 25%, so if cannabis flower would be capped at 25% potency, and you would only be able to get very limited forms of edible cannabis in limited quantities.
Dr. Michael Bonning is from the AMA, which is opposed to the legalisation of recreational cannabis.
The opening of these floodgates to kind of recreational use for everyone, we anticipate it will leave us in a situation where we will be seeing far more people for harms, even if there are a large number of people for whom there aren't harms.
This is it, man. This is what your grandchildren are going to be smoking. Future. The future.
Recreational cannabis use is prevalent in entertainment. Dr. Bonning says young people are often underestimating the potential harm of long-term use.
The experience of general practice, hospital clinics, emergency departments are that many young people and their families are completely unaware of the health risks of using cannabis. We meet people having acute psychosis in emergency departments. We meet people who have had, significant financial issues associated with their cannabis use. We meet people for whom this has triggered worsening of other conditions.
In 2023, the Greens introduced a bill to federal parliament to legalise cannabis. The Police Federation of Australia opposed it, citing a safety report in the US state of Colorado that found since cannabis was legalised, there has been a considerable increase in the number of drug-related driving offences.
Nobody should drive impaired on cannabis. That's certainly a fact, just as no one should drive impaired on alcohol or prescription medicines or anything else.
The Greens bill failed. In a new push to legalise cannabis, Pennington Institute recently released a 21-point plan detailing a pathway for states and territories to regulate the drug.
We're trying to put it in front of as many policymakers as possible, so we're sending it to MPs across the states and territories.
We are seeing a health system already under significant strain across the country. Adding more hospitalisations and admissions associated with cannabis use is something our health system can ill afford.